Hello, friends, and welcome back to After the Three Count here at TexTv Studios at the OC in Forney, Texas. It feels like we haven't been here forever because honestly, it's been a few months, and to me, that's forever. So, Chase, how are you doing on this fine, rainy summer day?
Oh, dude, I'm great. But yeah, it's middle of June and it's like 75 degrees outside and raining all the time. Like, are we in Oregon? Are we in the north?
I'm going to say we're in the Pacific Northwest for sure.
This is not normal for Texas, but hey, I'm not going to complain because here in about a month or so, it's going to be 112 and we're going to be begging for this.
I've already been mentally preparing for the heat because as much as I do like the cold because I like the crispness of the air. I'm starting to actually find myself more attracted to the heat. And so I'm actually looking forward to the heat this year. And I'm not getting it now.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, screw you. But no, anytime. Okay, a little fun fact about me. I'm obsessed with Twilight.
Like the movie series?
Yeah, and the books. Because I read all the books before I saw the movies. So I'm like an OG fan. Me and my best friend, we bonded over that a lot growing up, and so it was funny because she's Native American. Her name is Destiny. She's Native American, and so at that time we were in middle school. Kids are stupid, and so right when Twilight started hitting and everything, people actually called me Bella a lot because I'm very pale and my hair was brown back then, and so. Pale white girl, of course they're gonna call me Bella.
Pale white girl Bella.
Vampire. Yeah, so these kids were like, oh, she's a vampire, and I'm just like, I'm a witch, but okay, you want to say I'm a vampire? I'll play into that, idiot. And so then my best friend's like, well, I'm Native American, so they're like, yeah, you must be a werewolf, and it's just like, that's racist. But we played into it so much that people legit believed us, and it's like, bro, you're like 13, 14 years old. I like the creativity you got going on, but you classmates have known me since I was a child. Don't even. And so anytime the weather's like this, I get the hoa 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 season going on in my head, and I just want to put it on in the background. And so I hope there are other little Twihards, little tit soak fans out there just enjoying this conversation right now. I hope so. I'm not alone, but.
I think my favorite part of Twilight is the Paramore song Decode.
Yes.
Yeah, that is so dude, I'm way late to the party. I just discovered that song I don't know, maybe a few months ago.
I mean, it's a good song.
And Savannah was like, "You know where that song is from, right?" And I was like, "Paramore." And she was like, "No, dude, they wrote it for Twilight." And I was like, "No way." So now I think I kind of talked myself into a corner. She's going to make me watch them.
Oh my gosh, Savannah likes Twilight?
Oh, of course she
I
does,
love
dude.
her even more now.
Yeah, she's my little gothy queen, dude.
I was actually looking forward to because I assume y'all live together. I was looking forward to meeting her this weekend whenever we were going to go to Mississippi.
Yeah, well, that's what I asked her. I was like, have you ever met Ashley? And she was like, no. And I was like, how? All the shows we've been on together.
Well, that's the thing. We've seen each other,
but never
because I'm not going to interrupt when kids are coming up to Bam Bam and ask for autographs and stuff. And so I'm just like, yeah, let you do your own thing. So I've seen her.
Yeah.
And so
I've never actually. She is.
Oh yeah. I've just never actually talked to her.
Yeah. Well, that'll change the 21st.
Awesome. But yeah, and I saw some pictures you were posting. You went to Florida?
Oh my God, dude, that was so much fun.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah, we went to Rockville. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I haven't.
So it's a 4-day music festival, but it's all rock bands. So the first night, Shinedown was the headline. The second night was Green Day. Third night was Linkin Park. And then the fourth night was KORN.
Okay, how expensive was that?
So we just did the general admission. I think it's like $550. But you got to think, dude, for all 4 days.
Yeah.
And the
considering
festival,
who you're seeing.
Well, and the festival would start at noon. And the last bands went off at midnight.
Oh, wow.
And so, it was 12 hours. And they had 5 different stages set up. So they had the 2 big main stages. And that's where Shine Now and all those bands played. And they had another main stage that Good Charlotte played there one night.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Good Charlotte was there. Pierce the Veil, Sleeping with Sirens was there. Dude.
My teenage heart right now is crying because I didn't even know this was a thing.
Oh my God, dude. So Savannah had gone a couple years ago with a couple of girlfriends, And I've always wanted to go. Like I almost skipped my senior prom to go to this when at the time they were doing it in Jacksonville. But now they do it at Daytona International Speedway.
Okay.
So I was just as pumped to be at Daytona International Speedway than I was to even be
That's
at
such a man thing to say.
even be at a concert. But it was very, very hot.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So the first day they didn't allow re-entry for general admission. And water bottles were $5.
Oh yeah, I bet.
And then they had free like water filling stations, but they just didn't have enough anywhere because I mean, dude, the line would be easily half a football field, 50 yards. And I'm like, dude, I would rather go spend $5 on a water than do that. Well, then they made a social post, Rockville, the actual page posted it the second day that they were allowing re-entry and that water bottle was now $2.
Well, yeah,
for the
you
rest
have
of the
to.
festival.
It's summer in Florida, and people are out there in the sun for 12 hours. I mean, obviously the sun's not out 12 hours, but you can't.
Well,
do
and
that.
something I didn't even consider is all the asphalt that's on that track.
Yeah, it makes it worse.
Oh my God, dude. It was like 92, 93 every day. But dude, I shit you not. When you walked through like and got into the
Probably like
speedway,
125.
oh, easily 15, 20 degrees hotter than it really was outside. And you were just baking. Plus, so their total 4-day attendance for this show was 235,000 people.
Dang.
So you got to think each day, 50, 60,000 people.
Yeah.
On top of that. And they set it up. I mean, it was a big area, but it was just set up on the infield of the racetrack, the grass area. So you have 60,000 people.
Still not enough.
Plus all the asphalt. No, like it was bad. I mean, people passing out left and right.
Oh, I bet.
But honestly, like it was so much fun, dude. I would 1,000% do it again. Only thing I would do differently is like I told our group, I was like, guys, if we do this again, we have to camp on the grounds because we had an Airbnb and it was like 40 minutes away. So Airbnb was 40 minutes away, and then it would take us like a 30-minute walk to get into the speedway. So even when they did allow re-entry, you could go out to your car and chill in the AC for a little bit. Dude, it would take us 30 minutes to walk out there and 30 minutes to come back. Well, you maybe have 35, 40 minutes between sets. If you're trying to catch one band at this stage, then hey, we got about 40 minutes before the other band on another stage. Well, there just wasn't enough time. And like there were a couple bands I wanted to see at like noon and like 12:30, but collectively as a group we were like,
no,
dude,
please,
we're not getting out there that early. So Red Jumpsuit Apparatus was one of them, but dude, their set was at 12:15, and so me and one of Savannah's girlfriends, I was like, dude, are we gonna get out there at 12:15? And she was like, I mean, if you really want to, then like I will. And I was like, hang on. Pulled up my phone, I looked it up, and I was like, hey dude, they're coming to Dallas in August. I was like,
screw it, we're just gonna do that.
I was like, we're not doing that. They're coming to some club in Deep Ellum in August. I was like,
Ooh, okay.
I was like, she lives in Shreveport, and I was, oh dude, you're coming too, by the way. But I was like, I told her, I was like, hey dude, just come down, come crash with us, and we'll just go to the show and do it that day. So
have fun in Deep Ellum.
Oh yeah, I know, right? But no, it was an absolute blast. The funniest story I have from the whole trip was the entire time we were there, I kept saying, man, like I want to get on the track. Like I want to walk on the track.
Yeah.
And we found a mall because dude, parking every single day for general admission parking was $50 a day.
Okay, y'all just being ridiculous.
So I was like,
now.
dude, are we really going to spend $200 in parking? And so one of Savannah's friends was like, hey, in like a subreddit group, like a subreddit Rockville group, she saw that there was a mall that's never very busy. And it was right across the street from the Speedway. You could park at the mall and walk across, which, I mean, it made our walk into there 30, 35 minutes. But hey, it was better than...
Saving $200.
Exactly. Well, that entrance, we never got to cross the track at all. You like went down underneath the tunnels, underneath the track, which was still super cool. But you go underneath the track and you just pop out pit side and you walk around to the infield.
Okay.
So the whole 4 days, we're like, oh, damn it, dude, like I'm not gonna get to go on the track. And my best friend Cameron went with us, and he is not a metalhead whatsoever. we just drunkenly bought him a ticket one night and woke up the next morning and he was like, "Oh, hey, I guess I'm going to Rockville." And I was like, that wasn't a dream, okay? We really did that, okay? So, one of Savannah's friends, Courtney, went, and super sweet girl. She's from Oklahoma, and so she came down and she actually rode with us. And this girl was a crowd surfing machine, dude.
Dude, I could never do that. I'd be so terrified I'd get dropped.
She
get dropped. Oh no.
3
No. Come on, guys.
during KORN. So
come on, guys.
So she the first time she ever crowd surfed was at Incubus, and we got really close for Incubus. So we were only like, I don't know, 6 or 7 rows back. So really she didn't have very far to travel. But it was just me and Cameron and 4 other girls, and it was pretty wild for Incubus being that close. Well, the girls wanted to get close for KORN too. And I was like, guys, if you think Incubus was wild, KORN's going to be nuts. Yeah. So we like kind of they had this catwalk down the center. So we basically just kind of put ourselves right there on the barricade, and, you know, Cam and I stood next to the girls to keep them away. Well, Courtney crowd surfs, and we look up, and bloop, she drops.
Oh, no.
Help her back up, bloop, she drops again. Finally, they get her back up, bloop, she drops again, and then she goes right over, and, you know, security helps her out, and so she comes running back, and, you know, drinks are flowing. We're all having a great time, dude. And she comes back, and she's jamming out with us. Well, dude, I kid you not, she had a blister like that big on her pinky toe, so she was walking real kind of funky the whole day.
Yeah.
Well, after the show, Cameron walked with her, and I walked with the other girl, so we went a little ways away ahead of them, and there is no service inside of the Speedway. I think it was just 60,000 people there. There's no service whatsoever. And so finally I get outside of the Speedway, and I notice my phone's ringing, and Cameron calls me, and he goes, "Hey, dude, Courtney broke her ankle."
No.
I said, "Like just now?" And he was like, "No, when she was crowd surfing."
Dude.
And I was like, "Dude, there's no
no
way.
way.
She ran back over to us, stood up, jumped up and down."
Yeah.
So there were a few campers, and she told Cameron, she was like, "Hey, you're gonna have to carry me. I can't walk anymore." So Cameron started carrying her. Campers come over, and they're like, "Hey, y'all sit down here, call your friends, tell them to come get you." So I walk back into the Speedway, go and get Cameron and Courtney. Super sweet older gentleman takes us out on his golf cart. And this is the 4th and final day. We're leaving. Dude, I shit you not. We start coming towards the exit of the Speedway, and Cameron goes, "Dude, look." And I look over, and he goes, "We're on the track."
Aww.
And we got to be on the track. So
Aww.
you know what? Courtney took one for the team, broke her ankle. It wasn't broken, by the way. It was just severely sprained, dude.
Right.
She had a softball on the side of her.
Poor baby.
But, yep, so luckily, a super sprained ankle helped us get onto the track finally.
It's funny how things work out.
Yep. God works in mysterious ways. But no, it was an absolute blast, dude. Besides the 17-hour drive, everything else was amazing.
I'm surprised you drove, man. I can't. Oof. Mm-mm.
It was brutal, but I mean, it makes it so much easier with all of us, and like that way we could bring as much stuff as we wanted to, and like we planned on going to the beach, so like we brought beach stuff. But I mean, dude, by the time you're
I can't
out
imagine
there,
you'd want to go to the beach after being outside all
no,
day.
the only time that we did anything besides go to the Speedway was the night we got there. We went out to dinner, but that's the only time we did anything besides go to the Speedway and back. But I mean, dude, you're out there for 10, 12 hours. There's nothing else you want to do.
Yeah, you're not going to want to go back outside.
No, absolutely not. But
I am not.
I
am not an outdoor. Well, I love the outdoors, but I'm not a stay outside in the sun all day outdoor person. Obviously, but man, no, because when I go outside, sunscreen don't save me. I gotta wear them shirts. I gotta wear the long sleeve shirts and pants and stuff. But the thing is, like, I tan super easy. I don't like tanning.
Yeah,
it's not good for you. It's just
yeah.
Plus, I gotta look now. I gotta be the pasty white girl.
Yeah.
Anyway, because I mean, image is everything, brother, in wrestling.
I really didn't get burned too bad. The only thing, dude, the first day my forehead got eaten alive. alive by the sun. Halfway through, I was like,
you didn't put on sunscreen?
I did, but I didn't reapply.
You gotta reapply, man.
Well, I was reapplying drinks in my hand the whole time. I didn't care about sunscreen.
See, that's where people mess up.
And that is where I messed up. So I went and bought a $45 Rockville hat and wore that the whole rest of the time. And
that's
it was
your
a little bit
souvenir.
better. Yeah.
Oh, God, I can't remember. Actually, no, I can remember. It was the summer of 2020, and I went out on a freaking jet ski, a little Sea-Doo. My butt, dude. Like, I applied the sunscreen and everything. I had a life jacket on.
Yeah.
You could very clear, just a big old triangle of red right there on my hip, and I'm just like, you're just fantastic. Good job, woman. Wrestling was very bad that weekend.
Oh, dude, wrestling sunburnt is one of the worst things.
Can you imagine getting chopped?
Oh, I have.
Like, oh.
And I even told him beforehand, hey, dude, as you can tell,
Hey, some people forget,
I
man.
look like Mr. Krabs.
Some
dude.
people, oh God.
Look like Larry the Lobster. Like, no, please don't
Not
chop.
Larry.
Yeah, not Larry.
Okay, we had planned on coming back in here after WrestleMania. Obviously, that didn't work out, so there's like no point in talking about WrestleMania. The only thing I'm going to say about it, I was kind of disappointed. Obviously, I love Cena.
Yeah.
That was great. That was my first time of when I can remember like seeing him as like heel.
Yeah.
Like just really into it. So I did enjoy that. Did not like the women's match whatsoever. The Tiffy Charlotte match. Didn't like that. Love the
Triple threat was sick.
Yeah. The storytelling is what got me on that. Like, my God, that was just beautiful. And what's so funny to think, it's funny to think about, like, they're these high caliber wrestlers. They've worked hard to where they are. But when you really look at the wrestling, it's like, depending on where you go, you do get that. You at indie shows. And I can confidently say, like, I can be just as entertained as far as like the wrestling caliber and the character work for TSW.
Yeah.
Or any NWA. Like, and so every time I see big pay-per-views like that, I'm just like, I make that correlation between the two, and I'm just like, I didn't have to pay thousands of dollars to see that stuff. I got it for free.
Exactly.
Because I would have been mad if I had to pay money to see half of that. But anyway, I digress. But so much has happened in just the wrestling community, period.
Yeah.
Since then, like. And the biggest latest thing, obviously, is what happened to R-Truth about how they announced, or they didn't announce, like people found out that they weren't going to re-sign him, and then people lost their mind. And then, of course, on Monday night, he debuted his new character, cut off his dreads. Like, I love the way he did it. That was, I caught the replay because I was at training, but I love the way they did that. I don't like the way that he got into that situation, though, because you know that they were just gonna let him go, but then because of the amount of backlash they got, they're like, oh crap, we can't let him go. He of all people deserves to be on a pedestal. Like, he is an original that everybody loves. He just, again, I've never met the dude, but from what I've seen and from the things I've heard behind the scenes, he's a fantastic person.
I've never really, I mean, I've met him backstage, but it's just very much like, hey, how you doing, sir? You know, like, and passing.
Even
almost.
For interactions, you can kind of tell a good amount.
I mean, super friendly, shook my hand.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the guys, it always blows my mind. Like, when you go up there and do extra talent work, the top guys are the nicest guys to you.
Oh yeah.
It's always the mid card to bottom guys. It's like, dude, I'm not here to steal your job. I'm here to make $200 and eat catering.
That's what they
and
think.
Hopefully get a security gig on TV. Like,
dude, you gotta understand, mid card. I mean, honestly, anyone can get let go at any time. Clearly, but when you got mid card people, it's a competition. Like, everybody's competition. That doesn't mean you need to be an asshole.
Yeah.
Still be nice to people, but everything's a competition there, and some people can't handle it, and some people get closed off and shut out, and they're threatened.
Yeah.
If anything, you could just take it as a compliment, like, oh, you think I'm good enough to come for your job? Thank you.
Well, guess what? Now I'm going to.
Look at me now.
But yeah, I mean,
just because you out of spite, I'm coming for you.
Just out of spite, dude. I'm coming for you. But no, I mean, like you said, it's crazy. Like, the internet wrestling community blew up when he got let go, and
it's crazy how much influence that people have over the industry now.
It's nuts. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, whether that's, and however you feel about that, good, bad, and indifferent, I think it can be a good thing, obviously. Like, I love R-Truth. Like, I remember watching him when he got released from WWE back in, God, it was either late 90s, early 2000s, and he popped up in TNA, early TNA. Have you seen that video of that promo that he cut about WWE releasing him? This is like early TNA.
Yes.
He just flies off the handle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ever since I saw that, I mean, as a young kid, I was like, I don't like this guy. So it's so cool. And like, you have to do things right to be there for as long as he has been, and it's not just politicking. Like, I've never seen him have a bad match. The dude is entertaining as hell. Like,
right.
I almost want to give him his own reality show.
Oh, seriously.
And, like, the whole, I mean, even back in, like, I think it was 11 when he feuded with Cena, the Little Jimmy stuff. Like, do you know how often I say Little Jimmy now?
There's a lot of people do.
Oh, dude, it's so funny. And, like, he's been this comedic character for so long. And now to see him turn it up, the aggression and cut the dreads and drop the R-Truth, and now he's Ron Killings,
right?
And dude,
it'll be interesting.
It gives me goosebumps. Like,
I can't wait to see what happens. So it's moments like that where it's like, thank you, wrestling community. But like, one thing that also is funny about the wrestling community is that they bring a lot of dirt to the limelight. It's like, you wouldn't even like, I don't get on social media a lot, but like a dirt sheet will pop up, and I don't really read dirt sheets, but then I'll look into it and I'm like, really? And then so one of the things that I saw was Carlito. And I'm just like, what is going on here with Carlito? And so I heard that they're letting him go because of some theft and everything. And so I'm just
this is like, when you told me that's all news to me. So I had no idea. So what type of, like,
I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that they let it go. They cut a bunch of stuff that he was involved in, and it was kind of quiet. But then you go onto his X, and it says, my contract is up he posted this on June 1st. My contract is up in 2 weeks. It will not be renewed. On top of that, WWE is demanding I pay back the money they paid me for apparently stealing money from the company. I've had my lawyers look into it, and after receiving my footage on Netflix for the past months, they suggested I pay them back the money. All jokes aside, gracias WWE, and especially to the WWE Universe. Los quiero mucho. P.S. I'll reappear again in another 13 years. And it's just like, what?
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on.
So is Carlito embezzling money from WWE now?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know how do you, I mean, you can steal from anybody. You can steal anything, but it's like, how do you steal from WWE?
Yeah, they don't just leave open checkbooks around.
No.
Dude. Like, I don't understand.
You stealing extra catering, brother?
Maybe. I mean, they might as well get my ass for that too. I'd take a to-go home box every
then
time.
No, and there would be no wrestler hired if they got nipped for taking more food than they should.
Yeah. No.
Which okay, I'm blaming you for this. Okay, you need to be a locker room leader here at TSW. Okay, these guys need to stop tearing up the catering so much.
Dude,
we are hungry too. Okay?
I'm typically later in the show. And so I don't really eat a whole lot on show days. Like, I'll normally, because I don't know, dude, we got to squeeze into spandex, and I know it's probably counterproductive. Like, I know we're probably not supposed to. Like, I'll normally eat breakfast before I go to a show, and this is whether I'm traveling or anywhere. I'll eat breakfast at the house. I'll hit the road, and then I'll eat again after the show.
Yeah.
Well, they cater here, and there's a lot of times, like, I don't want to make a plate and then go sit it by my bag, because a lot of times, dude, like, I've done that before, and it gets stepped on, it gets knocked over,
Ew.
It gets spilt in my bag. Somebody knocks it off my chair and it spills in my bag. So I'm like, I'll just grab something afterwards. Dude, not even a quarter of the way through the show, all gone. I'm like, well, okay, I guess I'll eat somewhere else after the show.
Being a gym rat since 2013, I meal prep like crazy and all this stuff. As a wrestler, you really do got to take care of your body, and you really shouldn't be eating like this on show days. That being said, yes, I've eaten catering before, but it's usually after a match.
Not everybody has to be ripped. Not everybody has to have a six-pack, but you should look like some sort of athlete. And that doesn't mean, I mean, look at CM Punk, dude. Like, naturally, that dude is not an athlete.
Yeah.
He isn't, like, that dude does not have an athletic bone in his body. But look, he has busted his tail for years and years and years. And, you know, he probably has dieted. He's lifting, you know, he's in the gym. He trains his ass off.
Well, and when you're part of the WWE, you have to.
You have to, unless you're Kevin Owens, but you have to. And
oh my God.
so, but I mean, you know, I see so many guys, and it's like, dude, like you and girls too. It's like, you know, I feel like you should look like you should at least be able to win a bar fight.
Right.
That's
yeah, because you said that,
yeah.
and that's not unfair to say. It's really not. But I guess if anything, it just kind of makes me laugh because at the end of it, I'm like, how are you eating all of that and then going to perform and not throwing up? Because if I did that, I'd be barfing.
Done, dude. I'd be done.
Like, there's no way my body would not be able to handle that. But it makes me laugh anytime the promoter says, "Oh, we got catering." So I was like, "Oh, thanks. It smells amazing." But it's like, I can't eat it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't eat it, dude. Obviously, I can. Sometimes I do. But that's because I understand my body. I understand, like, the checks and balances that go on and everything. And I know that I've got chicken and rice in my bag that I'm also going to eat.
And that's what I was just about to say is, like, for about the last year or so, I just started bringing my own meals.
Yeah.
And that way, like, excuse me, especially on, like, long trips and stuff.
You have to on long trips.
Like, I'll just, instead of trying to find a Subway or trying to find something that's half-ass healthy that I could, you know, make work, I'll just bring my own meals. And then as soon as I'm done wrestling, before I even change, I'll chow down. And then I can hit the road and go. And, like, it saves you time, saves you money, and it's so much healthier for you to do it that way. So I just started doing that too.
Also, last thing you need to do is eat some chicken nuggies from a gas station. Next thing you know, you got food poisoning in the middle of the ring because food poisoning hits really quick. Oh, it's fun. It's just diet and gym culture. What are you gonna do? But
and I've worked in gyms for so long, dude. And, like, speaking of gym culture, like, I say there's some weird people in wrestling. There's some weird people in the gym too, dude.
Oh yeah, no.
But, you know, it's a form of therapy, dude. It really is. Like, you know, I could sit down with a therapist and talk to him for an hour, or I could go to the gym. And
that's pretty much 90% of the gym population.
Yeah,
like, they need therapy.
And, you know, and, like, Savannah, like, she'll, like, if I mean, dude, you and me both. I legit, like, I'm such a happy-go-lucky guy, like, laid back. But, dude, I get cranky if I miss the gym.
No, same.
And Savannah's like, dude, like, stop being so hard on yourself. And I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I have to be, like, it's not me being hard on myself. It's like, I don't know, it's so ingrained in my head that, like, and maybe that's the inner fat kid in me, you know, talking.
Honestly, probably.
Yeah. And so I'm like, oh, dude, like, and I know I probably judge myself too much off of, like, if I go to the gym or not. You know, I put my self-worth, you know, probably a little too much into that. But, dude, it's better than drowning myself in drinking or, you know, whatever. Like, that is my escape.
Yeah.
And I went through probably about, like, a 3-4 month period where, like, I just lost my love for the gym. And I'm feeling that slowly coming back. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, here it is again. But I think a lot of that, too, dude, is, like, you know, I would work 12, 13 hours at the gym.
Well, you got burnt out on it.
And then try to have my own workout there too. And, like, sometimes, you know, I have multiple memberships because there's sometimes I can't work out at work. And, you know, sometimes you have to disassociate and go back to the gym just for the gym.
Right.
You know, not looking around like, oh shit, I need to go replace those wipes in the middle of my set, you know?
You're not in work mode, you're in workout mode.
Exactly.
But it just, like I said, I've been going to the gym since like 2013. And I originally started out, I've been an athlete since I was a child. And so I understood basic fundamentals, but I didn't understand basic bodybuilding fundamentals because that's what really got me into the gym because I did a bodybuilding competition.
Oh, no way, dude. I had no idea.
I am so impulsive.
Okay.
Like, I literally was scrolling and I see this video of this bikini competitor and I'm like, what's this? What's this? So I'm scrolling and I'm clicking and I'm looking at a profile and I'm like, bodybuilding, huh? I want to do that.
Yeah.
Literally Googled a trainer near me, and then the very next day I went and did a consultation with her.
Oh,
her
that
name
is
is
so cool.
Diana Lanfer. Like,
Okay.
She got me through my first bodybuilding competition. Bless her heart. Oh my God. And
Did you only do the one?
yeah.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
Mhm.
So she taught me basic fundamentals,
Yeah.
how to properly stance and everything, because everyone's body's different. Like I can't squat the way you squat
Yeah.
because my hips and all this stuff. So anyway, she taught me basics, and man, I was gym rat like crazy. I was obsessed. I didn't have a support system at home. I think it was I was with the dude that my ex-husband. He wasn't my ex-husband at the time. We were just dating, but no support there whatsoever. And so it was really my escape from that relationship at the time. And so because like I could hear him just being all like, yeah, you're not going to commit to this, because like I said, I'm very impulsive. I do things on a whim, but I complete them.
Yeah.
So it's like, why are you doing that? Anyway, so I did the competition. It was all hunky-dory and everything. I looked fantastic, but not fantastic by standards of what they grade. And so it's like, I did shit.
Yeah.
Like I did not place or nothing. I remember it was the Ronnie Coleman Classic. It was in Mesquite. And that's a very intense one to start.
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of threw you to the wolves, dude.
I chose it, man. I chose it. I was like, screw it.
Hey, if you're going to do it, do it.
Exactly. Right? But I got into at my time, I got into the best shape of my life. I was still really small, but I started like getting the muscle and getting strong. So after that competition, I'm looking at everything. And then if you've done bodybuilding competitions, whether it's bikini figure fitness, all that stuff, the rebound is hard, especially if you're younger and especially if you don't know how to rebound properly. And so after that, because I hired Diana for that. We trained a little bit more after that, and then that was it. Yeah. She did her job. So I was like, okay, cool, shake hands, Started just going to the gym regularly on my own. And then I started getting into this really, really bad mental place, because then of course the weight started coming back, and I'm just like and as someone who has suffered with eating disorders from the past, I'm just like nope, this is just another type of disordered eating. I'm not getting back into this. That being said, depression hit, and so I ended up gaining. I went from 130, which is very lean for someone who's freaking 5'9".
That's very lean.
I went from 130, and I don't know what the span of time was in it, but I literally went up to 210 pounds.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
So you put on 80 pounds, like
depression.
That. Yeah. Oh, I know. Happened. Dude.
Depression.
Yeah.
And again, shitty living situation at home, and there was no support because he would not go to the gym with me at all. And when you go from being really fit to really fat, and you try to get back into the gym, and it's just like, I'm fucking embarrassed, dude. Like, what is the mentality of I want to lose weight before I go to the gym? Like, what is that?
It's so demoralizing, dude.
And so that was about 2015, 2016.
Okay.
And then I reached back out to Diana. I'm like, Diana, oops,
help.
So she helped me a little bit, but we only did online at that time. Didn't like online, so we only did that for a little bit. It's hard,
dude. Like I don't even like doing online training as a trainer.
Yeah.
Like I will, like, if you ask me like, hey, will you write me a workout plan? Sure. But we communicate and I see you.
Yeah.
But just strictly online, you never even met the person. Like,
yeah.
Which, I mean, yours was different. You knew her, but like I know several people that strictly do online, and like, I mean, hey, if it works for you, it works for you. But I wouldn't like that. I like the face to face.
Yeah, it's a lot better when you do it in person. But so I gained all that weight, started going back to the gym, and then I distinctly remember I slipped back into anorexia because, again, terrible fucking man I was with at the time. And he triggered it, and he just like pushed me over the edge with a comment he said one night. And at the time, this movie came out on Netflix, and it was about a girl going through anorexia. And the worst thing you can do when you have disordered eating is get sucked back into that world, whether you go on OG Tumblr or you watch movies, read books like that. It puts it back into your head of like, damn, that actually did feel really good to have that control and to feel that empty. And it's a weird feeling to describe, but people who know.
Yeah.
And so went from 210 pounds back to 170. And I don't know. I think it was wrestling.
Yeah.
I think it was wrestling that got me back out of it because I lost all the weight. And then I discovered wrestling. And at the time I had put my mindset in like, you know what? screw this. I'm going to do a figure competition. I'm going to back on track. I'm going to eat better. And then wrestling came into my life and I'm like, I can't do both. I'm
Yeah.
a pig wrestling.
Yeah.
And so you can't starve yourself and wrestle. So I
No.
was like, screw that. I'm going to eat.
Yeah.
And so I did. I ate, worked out, got strong, wrestled. And so wrestling kind of really kicked me out of that.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah.
That being said, I did have a relapse a couple years into wrestling.
Oh no. Okay.
Again, depression sucks, dude.
Yeah, it does.
Like,
yeah.
we're getting real right now, guys.
Yeah.
It was after a bad breakup and big sad. And I just completely lost my appetite, lost a bunch of weight. People at SOAR noticed. And that's one thing, guys. If you notice something, just talk to them, say something.
Yeah, and it could be as simple as, "Hey, you okay?"
Right.
Like
Don't bullshit me. Just tell
no.
me what's going on.
Yeah, like, "Hey, dude, what's up?"
Yeah. And because nobody knew at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think except Destiny. I think I confided in her. I was like, I'm slipping back, man.
But she's your best friend, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I lost a little bit back. But what really got me back into kicking that for good, I was wrestling this girl, Olivia Vegas, and
Oh yeah. Okay.
I love her. And I distinctly remember near the end, I started seeing stars.
Mm-hmm.
I had her in a very compromising position, and I started going like tunnel vision. I was about to go down.
Mm-hmm.
And my adrenaline kicked in, kept her safe. We finished the match, and I immediately thought, I cannot fucking do this because I
Nope.
cannot put these women at risk.
Mm-mm.
And so ever since then, I've been fine.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's crazy how one little thing can trigger a relapse and how one little thing can trigger it to never happen again.
Yeah. It's almost like it just snaps you back to reality.
Absolutely.
And it's like, okay, like hurting yourself is one thing, but like I pride myself, like I've never hurt anybody in the ring. Seriously.
Right.
We all get bumps, bruises, whatever. I've never, in my 10 years, I've never hurt anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've hurt my own dumbass self several times, but
Same.
that's different, dude. You know, like I never want to be the reason why somebody either, has to lose time or, I always think shoot jobs too, dude. Like somebody gets hurt, you're not only missing wrestling, but a lot of times
You're missing
you
work.
have to take time off
You're
work.
taking money out, and it's just, it sucks.
And, 90% of us, this isn't, wrestling is not our main source of income.
Mm-mm.
So if somebody's having to miss their Monday through Friday because of something I did, like, I don't want to live with that. So,
Right. I'm
yeah.
really thankful that my shoot job is, it's work from home. I got to go in the office sometimes twice a week, but I'm very thankful that when I'm in compromised positions, if I can't walk in, do anything, I can still work because I can literally just be in bed on my laptop.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just you gotta be. I'm gonna tell you what my coach Athena told me, Chase.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be selfish.
Yeah.
Okay. You gotta be selfish. You gotta keep yourself safe as well.
Mm-hmm.
If they are about to fuck up something, like, don't put yourself in a compromisable position, because that's what would happen. That's not what happened with my major injuries that took me out, but it happened with a lot of minor injuries that would take me out for like a couple weeks at a time. And so I distinctly remember it was an inconvenient one. I did something to my hip, and Athena's like, what happened? And I'm like, I put my body in a position to catch a girl who's going to land on her head. And she's like, you need to stop doing that. You need to stop being a mother hen. Like, if they hit their head, they hit their head. And I'm like, that is very hard for me to do. I do not have
same here, dude.
Like,
yeah.
I'm not a mother. I never will be a mother. I don't want kids. But for some fucking reason, I have that innate instinct to protect people.
Yeah.
And
it's just because you're
I
a good
hate
person.
it.
Yeah. It's just, you're a good person, dude. And like, I feel like,
I'll stop.
I feel like, because I'm the same way. Like, I love kids. Don't really want them my own. But like, and Savannah always tells me this too. She's like, you're very much a protector. And I'm the same way, like I don't ever want to see anybody get hurt. So I would be the one to do the same thing as you. Like, it blows my mind, dude. One of the spots, I think it was on TNA, that dude did was it Ultimate X? I think you've seen it. He did some jump off the top of the Ultimate X tower. And like, dude, there's 6 guys down there and nobody caught him. Like, barely even touched him, and he smacked.
awful.
And it's like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, if I was in
That's
charge,
terrifying.
all of you would be gone. Every single one of you.
Like, how did they not catch
one-
him? I don't watch video. If anything comes up or a viral video goes of someone getting hurt, I do not watch it.
No.
I can't watch it.
Yeah.
That's nope, can't do it. But yeah, you're a very protected person, and that's a good thing to have in this industry. Like, like you said, it makes you a good person.
Yeah. You're a decent human being, Ashley. That's what that is.
Thank you so much. I needed that validation. Well, dang, dude. Like, so much time's already passed. But it's okay, guys. We're not going to talk your ear off. We're going to break this up into 2 episodes like we did last time. So stay tuned for next week. We're going to record the rest of this. Chase, do you want to sign us out?
Peace.
Thanks for watching, guys. Again, follow us, like our videos, push some comments. It does a wonder for us. We have our links and such all in the description below. Give us a like, give us a follow, and thank you so much for joining us today. Bye.